So, I was searching for a Chandol type beat tutorial and I found, well, there was nothing. So instead of waiting for someone else to do it, I did it myself. So I spent the past 2 weeks listening to Chandol songs, breaking down exactly what makes them feel so unique. And I want to share them with you. So let's get into it. If you want to make chords like Chandol, you need to utilize major and minor 7th extensions. You should also use a 2-chord progression, where both chords are a perfect 5th apart, as he uses this in a lot of his music. Let's do the same for our song. I'm using A major 7 and E major 7 as my chords, which are a perfect 5th apart. Then I'm gonna leave this take completely dry and add a few more dry takes. Make sure you record them separately and not just duplicate them, then pan them left and right. After that, open Valhalla Supermassive and put on the preset We Are Stardust. This can be found under the massive reverb section. Then tweak it to your desired taste, and here's how the full thing should sound. For those of you who don't have a guitar, install a plugin called Labs by Spitfire Audio. This plugin has a good representation for soft guitar that you will need for a Chandol inspired beat. Install the preset library called Peel Guitar and select Peel Guitar Ensemble. Then make a new MIDI clip with Command-Shift-M. Then I'm going to turn down the tempo to my desired tempo of 85 BPM. Then I'll build out my guitar with MIDI, and here's how it sounds. Chandol uses a diverse range of drum sounds which he uses as he experiments with different genres. I'm going to be using some tight drums like you see in Doubt or Mercury. I'm using the plugin SSD5 Sampler by Steven Slate Drums, using the Nice and Tight kit. I'm going to be making a couple of drum patterns, so you can kind of do whatever you want with them. Just make sure to use the Humanize feature found in Ableton's MIDI editor. This first pattern is inspired by Can You Feel It and Doubt. And this one's inspired by City Walls by 21 Pilots, a band he frequently listens to. Then to process these drums, I added heavy compression. I then boosted the low end with an EQ. I raised the high end. Then I took down the tone of the snare. I then used a drum bus and I experimented with the settings until I found something I liked. I then added a bunch of fills and a bunch of ghost notes until it sounded somewhat listenable too. So here's what the final thing sounds like. For the bass, I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm just going to lay down the root notes and then press Command E on my keyboard to split them up into 16 different notes. Then I'll play with the endings a bit until it sounds nice. And here's what the end result should sound like. So for the synths, I'm going to do something like Ghost, where he uses a tape stop effect to bring the synths in and out of the song, making a really cool effect. So to achieve a similar effect, I'm going to use a tape stop with a bunch of pads laid together, and here's what it sounds like. So, for the part you've all been waiting for, I hope, well, it's the beat switch. So, he kind of does these beat switches in a lot of his songs, like especially in Mercurial, and also Burnout, like songs like Breakfast in Bed 2002, Doubt, What's the Rush, etc. And one thing that characterizes these beat switches is that he usually has a solo or like an instrumental break that fluidly leads one part into the other. And another interesting thing to note is that he usually uses the same chord progressions from the first beat to the second beat, which is really interesting because they sound so different and you would expect them to be in a different key or a different BPM, but everything is the same. The key and the BPM are the same. It's just the way that he's produced these songs makes it sound like everything's different about them when they're not. So for my song, I'm going to be doing a solo, and the only thing I can really say here is make sure you use a clean tone and don't really use that much overdrive. And make sure you use the pentatonic scale because that's the only scale he uses in his solos. So here's what my solo sounds like. So for the actual beat switch, I recorded a classical guitar playing the chords. Then I played an electric guitar in drop D tuning, which kind of adds some rock elements before you get into the big rock drop. Make sure your guitar is in drop D tuning as well. So here's what those guitars sound like. Then I recorded the main guitar for the drop, and then I added like 5 layers or something to it, so it sounded really big, and I panned those layers across the stereo spread. I then added overdrive to those guitars and some EQ. Then I moved on to the drums. So for the drums, I'm going to do something like easier. So I'm going to use this plugin called Empty Power Kit, and then I'm going to add crashes on every beat and just play a regular backbeat below that with some ghost notes and extra kicks here and there. And here's what the drums sound like. So that's kind of it. I mean, I added the same bass and pads as before. So here's the final beat. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below if you want to see more content like this. So goodbye.